Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to Rietspruit Game Reserve. I think all of you have been here longer than I've been here. I am Victoria Nuttall-Smith, and with me is my husband.
Good afternoon, everybody.
Gareth Nuttall-Smith, and we have the pleasure of exploring Rietspruit for 2 hours with you this afternoon. We have Matt, who's on camera. Matt is the youngest on this car.
Hello.
And the alpha today, because he calls all the shots. But we're gonna have a good chat. We're gonna let you get to know us. We need your questions, otherwise it'll be really awkward as husband and wife to have to speak to each other for 2 hours.
I don't think we struggle with that too much though.
Hopefully not. But we're also going to hopefully catch up with the wild dogs, see if we can get to them. So we're going to take it easy, take it slow, and get to know one another. Are you ready?
Ready, let's go.
You're ready to roll. Who do we have with us online this afternoon, Gareth?
So I'm going to try and field all the questions and comments and get Victoria involved. I'm going to be reading them for everybody this afternoon, and also trying to have the map on my phone to direct us around, although I think we're going to count on Matt a little bit for that, since we only just got here, basically.
Yeah, like 48 hours old.
I think we are 48 hours old as the newest painted dog pack members.
The puppies.
We are the puppies, as Victoria says. So I'm going to try and go through the comments and questions. Please fire them our way. It makes our job a lot easier. And I think this afternoon we've got a few of our pack members joining us at the moment. Hello to Barbara, Di, Betty, Ilsa, Jennifer, Miss Mary. Welcome. Enjoy this afternoon safari with us.
Give heading towards, I think it's Mumba Dam, right? Mumba Dam. This time of the year and this time of the day is always a good place to start, is with water. I think all the seasonal pans have completely dried up. Not that there'd be that many, because there hasn't been an elephant population for very long on this reserve. But the hippos would have created some sort of seasonal pans. Is this correct? Right, Matt? Yes? No, I mean, is this the correct road? Yes. What I'm trying to say is that generally elephants are pretty good at creating small seasonal pans, and they develop over time, so they'll start as a neck side and grow into a much bigger pan that will hold seasonal water. But since Rietspruit hasn't had elephants for that long, they probably don't have that many seasonal pans anyway. There's a beautiful grey heron taking off. Here we are. Does look like we're the only ones at the dam. Where do you want us? Good?
There's also some vervet monkeys in the tree opposite us there.
Grey heron with a feather, that's a jar. Look at it.
Thanks, Jennifer. It's nice to have your words of encouragement with us this afternoon, and I think we'll do exactly that and ease our way in.
Monkey is very relaxed.
They are fishing pulling out from Kombe, Hippo Dam, unattended.
There's a few of them in that troop. What are they feeding on there? What is that? I need my binoculars. It looks like a jackalberry. So that'll be a nice tasty treat for them.
I think here's one from Betty for Victoria.
Oh yeah, let's see.
I was
Betty.
saying that she would never forget the viewing of the dead elephant with the hundreds of vultures, the hyena, while you were at Mala Mala.
Betty, I remember that very clearly. Betty travelled with us, when was it? Maybe a couple of months ago, July-ish? No, not that recently. Anyway, I forget, but Mala Mala never has dead elephants, and that week we had 2. And we had an incredible interaction with hyenas and vultures. I think the hyena even stole an elephant, like ran away with the ear of the elephant. So the vultures actually put the hyenas in their place for a change, but that hyena got away with an elephant ear. That was a great sighting. I forgot about that sighting. It was really, really cold that morning as well. What do you think? Should we carry on and see if we can catch up with those wild dogs?
I think let's do that.
So nice to drive a petrol car. It's quiet. So many firsts as well. First live drive. First time driving a game viewer. That's a petrol car. Sure we don't.
Smaller than what we used to having.
Yeah, small is good.
With fenders.
Small is great with game drive vehicles. All right, we did actually see the wild dogs much earlier this afternoon, or this morning. Late this morning, early afternoon, around noon. And in this kind of heat, I think it's been around 90 today, or if you're talking about degrees Celsius, then around 30, maybe up to 33. So if wild dogs have a choice, they haven't moved. Here's hoping. Okay. What else have you got for us, Gareth? What does everyone want to know?
There's not too many questions.
Well, then I have a question for you.
Well, here's to us and Matt. Janine?
Are you gonna? Let's see. Janine. What?
Janine.
Maybe. You're gonna have to get all your names right.
I have to figure this out over the next couple of weeks. Pronunciation of names is something that I'm terribly good at. It always takes me a while to get to know people's names and how to say them, and especially reading them on a bumpy car on a small screen. So do forgive me if I do get it wrong this time. I promise to work on it and get it right in the future.
And basically just be better.
Just be better.
So my question, Gareth, of all the things that daunt you about being at Painted Dog TV, what is the thing that you're most nervous about?
I don't have any background with Afrikaans.
Oh, is this right? Cool, just checking.
And on Blauwbank, all of the road names are in Afrikaans. I didn't study at school as I grew up in Botswana, so out of the country I didn't have any introduction to Afrikaans growing up, not really. Then I was exempt from doing Afrikaans at high school, and therefore when I left school I could speak English, and my second language at high school was French, but we won't talk about that because I was no good at French whatsoever. It would probably be more beneficial to have studied Afrikaans, kind of knowing that I was interested in wildlife, and in South Africa a lot of wildlife management is with Afrikaans people or speaking people. So getting to know all the road names on Blauwbank especially, it's going to take a little bit of getting used to. And probably, like the names, have to work on it quite hard. Having just been here for a couple of days, we've been on a couple of drives yesterday with Brent. We were trying to follow ourselves on the map, and to say I was hopeless would be an understatement. Victoria's a lot better at getting around the names of the roads than I am at this stage.
But I had an unfair advantage because I had to study at a university. I'm by no means proficient, but I can pronounce the vowels. The way the language works is actually quite different to English. So like what we call our base is affectionately known as hace, and a UI is said like an A in Afrikaans. So if it's a foreign language to you, it can really undo you. But you'll be fine.
We'll get there. Indeed, Jennifer, Brent's favourite animal is the painted dog. And your question to us, Victoria, is what are our favourite animals?
My favourite animal, I'll start because you've been talking for long. My favourite animal is definitely a leopard, but it's not really for the reasons that everyone will say that a leopard's their favourite. I mean, they are regal, they are beautiful, they are a bit of an enigma, but what's my favourite part about them is that because they're regal and because they're beautiful and because they're an enigma, nobody really sees that they also do all the cunning things that hyenas do, for instance. So we gloss over their bad behaviour because they're so beautiful, and I like that about them. I think that makes them they're using all their wits and wiles to be able to be such successful creatures. I think leopards are one of the most successful species in that they manage to exist in pretty much any environment, even in some of the biggest cities, especially in India. There are strong leopard populations, so I love a leopard. I can't describe why. They entrance me. Your answer, G? I know yours is more complex.
Yeah, my favourite animals kind of changed over time. When I was growing up and getting exposed to wildlife and thinking about everything that kind of goes on, watching documentaries, visiting a few wild spaces in my younger years, I too, like Brent, enjoyed some wild dogs. I thought I could go into a conservation space and help protect the species and kind of being a wild dog warrior. And as I got older and I went and studied a bit, I realized that there were quite a few people already doing that, and I thought I should maybe venture away from that. Not entirely. I find myself now a painted dog and do a lot of wild dog work. Like now we're going to go and find some that have recently been reintroduced to the Rietspruit Game Reserve. So they were, for a long period, my favourite animal, I would say. I've always liked dogs, grew up with dogs, so they have a special spot in my heart. And then when I was at university, I actually ended up studying elephants. And during that process, I learned a lot about them. They catch a lot of negative press, and I kind of think sometimes they get caught in the wrong end of that. So I developed a bit of a soft spot for elephants during my university years and studying them especially. And then the privilege of working in a place where leopards, as some guides would say, just you shake a tree, they fall out of them. We, in the Sabi Sands, and more specifically where Victoria and I worked prior to coming and joining the pack, leopards are everywhere. And I, growing up going to wild spaces, never really see leopards. I had a handful of leopard viewing before starting at Mala Mala, and kind of got to know them over the 6 years of working there, and again developed a bit of a soft spot for them, and they are one of my favorite animals. Just, they're so secretive everywhere. The chance of a sighting is so slim and often fleeting that when we got to view them as much as we did, I developed a soft spot for them, and
we're gonna have
they were my favourites.
We're gonna have to get back to what your next favourite was in a second. There's something up ahead, Matt. I don't know if you can get just in front of that concrete block. There they are. Here is our, well, not as new as Gareth and I, but our newest members of this pack, literally. The wild dogs are just in front of us on the fence line here. So that's exciting. And it's probably a good time of the afternoon to be with them because it's starting to cool down, and I mean they're wild dogs. They should want to hunt or maybe drink. Or at least they're showing off more than they were.
It has been a bit of a hot day. And already just going on the drive, it's cooled down quite a lot. So like we can see, this wild dog has popped out onto the road. When we left them around midday, they were sleeping in the shade of some dense trees up ahead. So this is a good sign. Maybe we'll get them active and moving about.
Yeah, but can I also...
I'm just going to stop in this rocky section and see if the others come out to this individual. Is that good for you, Matt?
Yeah.
Here.
Okay. The eastern side of Blow, what is the eastern side? Eastern side from Leopard.
There you go.
Copy, thank you.
It's one of the collared individuals. Nice yawn. It's definitely time for a wild dog to think about moving and stretching and getting active.
Hi Brian. Hi Connie. Connie's joining us. Brian's joining us. Joining at the right time. Now we're sitting with the wild dogs.
They gave us a bit of a fright this afternoon because when their collar updated, it bounced a little bit from where they actually were. It happens, you know. And so we thought that they were maybe, one of them of the three might be just on the other side of the fence. So naturally that was a mild panic. Look, it's getting up now. Is this the male? I'm not familiar with them just yet, but
Looks like it.
it looks like it's the male. The male from Mkuzi. Yeah. Oh, something is in that ear.
So Liz is telling us that this is the male.
Thanks. Liz.
Notch.
Is that what we're calling him? The male Notch.
I'm guessing that's because of the little notch in his right ear. Liz, maybe you can confirm if that's correct or not.
I mean, it would make sense. They look a little hungrier today than I've seen them. Matt was with them yesterday afternoon and they had the remains of some sort of a kill, so we know at the very least or longest they last ate yesterday around this time, Matt.
Yeah.
Yeah. And there were some spotted hyenas trailing them, so perhaps the presence of wild dog on Rietspruit is going to bring back some more regular sightings of some spotties. I think he could eat.
It's like Victoria's saying, and like you, Di, we are always nervous when they're close to the fence. And Victoria was mentioning earlier, we had a little bit of a scare when their collar updated. One of the female's collar actually pinged on the other side of the fence. I saw that update and we came out here to find them. We thought maybe we'd have an exciting afternoon, or maybe not so exciting because we're trying to find a pack member that's on the other side, and we did not have to go down that route as we found them all three of them lying up under a bush here. We actually parked right next to them and there were some zebras standing not too far away, and we thought there's no chance that the dogs were here because the zebras were so relaxed.
But then Gareth hopped out the car to check the tracks and the dogs hopped up and the zebras ran off and they were right here.
Yeah. I can see a couple more in the trees, a tail flicking
girls
from time to time. So the two females are lying maybe 15, 20 meters
They're
away
not
from
very
the male.
easy to see. What's this road in front of us, Matt? Just so that I can let the rest of the group know where the wild dogs are.
Got it here.
100% where you were talking about, but yeah. Yeah, come on, I'm not sure.
Yes, is that correct?
Oh, he's up. Looking at the girls. Whoop, up and going. Let's try to stay with him. Let me tell. Might be a false start, but you never know. If the girls have gone in a different direction, we haven't seen them, he's going to try and follow them. I'm going to try and follow them too, but this block looks like it could be a nightmare. This is Western Fence Line, right? Station's located the 3-Madash Western Fence Line at the junction with Lemundur and West. They are stationary. Well, they look like they're getting active. Not technically stationary. I don't know if you can see Matt, a bit forward or a bit back?
No, I don't have him.
Okay, he's just on the right of this game path. About 20 meters in, he's moving.
No, I can't see him.
Okay. Looks like he's moving back to the fence. I'm going to turn around and then we'll go back there. Bit of a false start. Have you got him there?
No.
Yeah, you can go back there. The thing with wild dogs is when they take off, if you're not paying attention and you don't take off with them, it's better to have a false start and they've regrouped. Oops. Better to have a false start than have a situation where you lose them immediately. That wouldn't make me very popular with all of you on the first drive. Lose our favorite pups. Although we shouldn't call them puppies, that's not technically correct. I think they're all around, roughly around the 3-year mark. So they're not too old, but perfect age. One of them's going to emerge on the road here. It's Mr. Notch.
The female's up to the left, both of them are coming this way.
Mm-hmm. Let's see where they go.
Yeah, I picked up the tracks of the Madoda on Leopard. They are heading south. We are on it.
Probably the beta female in the front with the collar. Just from observations, I'm I am relaying what Brent has observed over time, but it seems that the female without a collar would be the alpha female at the moment, and the one with a collar seems to be the beta female. But we'll see over time how these things unfold.
Into the block, so I'm trying to check maybe around.
One of them is following the male. They're on the trot now.
But he crossed, walk back.
I'll stay with you. Oh. Just going to switch off for a second. She may have moved from the car there. They're not nervous wild dogs by any stretch, but I think a new environment, lots to process in the last week since they've been released. That I can understand why any strange thing would be a little bit, just you'd be more cautious when you're in an unfamiliar environment.
On your right.
Just remind us when they were released about a week ago now.
Yeah.
Like Friday a week ago. What's today? Is today Friday?
It's 3 days now.
I think it was last Friday.
So they were in a boma for a little while, getting used to their new environment. And they've been exploring, and the collar shows that they were in the eastern parts of the reserve, and now they've come across to the western parts of the reserve. Just on this fence line a little bit, getting to know the boundaries of their new environment.
I think it's very fitting that since we've been at Painted Dog, we've seen wild dogs every day. They've been like within 2 kilometers radius, not even, of the house. Very apt welcome. Painted Dogs to say hello and welcome to the newest Painted Dog. That is not going to smell very great. Wild dogs at the best of times don't smell great. Let's stay with them. Although they smell, even though they don't smell great, they smell like excitement. If you smell wild dogs, it's an exciting smell. Block your noses. Ooh. Matt, can I follow or not really?
Not at this dog.
Okay.
There's another road coming up ahead of you.
Okay, great.
This is my primary role this afternoon, I think.
Navigator.
Victoria keeps eyes on where the dogs are going, and I'll try and keep eyes on where we're going.
It does look like it clears a little bit further to our east, maybe if we...
There's an opening and then it gets flicked after that again.
Okay, so maybe we'll try and catch up with them in that opening if we can.
Next road, the road kind of ends towards us.
In here. I'm gonna try.
Probably get to the road through that.
I think so. I think I can get into that open area. Maybe we'll get them. You know, the other day Brent and I tried to loop around and we lost them. Brent was driving, but I was there and I realized very quickly that they don't conform to what we think they will. Can you guys duck and dive? Yeah. You good? Come in, come in. It's wild dogs after all.
You need to be sure.
Yeah. You stuck?
No.
You good? No, it's not going to work there. We'll have to come into this side. You think the left, not the right. Okay.
Small car. One of the benefits of being in these little cars, see through small gaps. But it is quite rocky in here as well. So
I know, I can feel the rocks.
getting used to a new
Woo! Up close and personal.
Thought it was a gap, maybe not quite.
We made it a gap. Okay. Last clearing here. We last had them on our left somewhere, so somewhere east of us. They were continuing east.
There they are.
There they are. Oh, they're not going to make our life easy. When do wild dogs make your life easy, though? Shall I cover that, Matt?
No,
Oh, they're on a road.
might be on a road after all of that.
I take back what I just said.
This is nice to see them going in a northerly direction away from the fence. at least they have gone back to the release site at the Boma a little bit. But they have also been to the east and now the west, or the southern fence line and now the western fence line a bit. Just getting to know those boundaries, but they definitely initially went back to the Boma once or twice. I'm just going on what we can see on the collar data. That's the area that they would have been used to pre-release, feel a bit comfortable.
This has been spending a lot of time here.
And they have spent the last few days since we arrived at Painted Dog here on the western fence and close to camp. A couple of those trees did have thorns. All of you've made it out.
Unscathed.
All right at the moment. Looks like they're going off the road again and see some stuff.
What does it look like? Okay, Matt, see if you can get a good angle. This is fine. You can go for a bit.
Where are you now?
We'll go until it gets harrowing, and then we'll let them carry on.
I'm here by Veldepage and Gareth, but now Veldepage.
harrowing.
Okay, there's a bit of a dip here, hold on. Ooh, a lot of a dip. You good?
Yeah.
Oh no.
There's a hole.
Okay, wait. In? Everyone in?
Yeah.
Nearly lost Matt there, people. What's on?
Here you go.
No. Oh no!
Deep.
That's so embarrassing. Of course it would happen on your first drive, right? Okay,
I'll see if I can push us out.
right, let's see if we can make...
It's a big hole.
Is it? Sure, it didn't even look like it. What do you think, G? Give us...
I don't know, you're going to try and I'm going to see.
Should we go together?
Well,
Can you believe it?
Very interesting.
I think we're going to have to go backwards out of it. What do you
you're
think?
going to have to go backwards.
All right.
You can
Please.
hold the jack if you want.
Just, you have to just go
What do you want me to
and
do?
try and reverse out. I'm going to try and push from there.
Okay.
I have to get the jack out here.
That's...
No, it's all good, Basil.
We happy?
Okay, you're in reverse, slow range, four-wheel drive.
Yeah?
Okay, go slowly.
No, I don't have traction on my front. So close.
Yeah, I want to go back here and see if I can hold this side.
That was quite
Okay,
impressive.
come Victoria, go.
Backwards.
Yep.
Okay, 1, 2, 3. Pardon?
Let's go slowly.
Okay, cool.
Okay.
Of course.
Okay,
Nothing quite like it.
we had it moving just now.
You did have it moving, G.
Yep.
Incredible Hulk. That was good fun. I'm very proud of you. I didn't expect that. Woo. That's
That's why you go in teams. Yeah, I don't think we go there. We're going to have to loop around and see if we can.
okay. Is there another road? Thanks for bearing with
Stony
us, everybody. I think the lesson I've learned from this drive is I need a booster seat in this car. A little pillow or something. That whole, whoopsie. Go low, go low. Okay, if I go,
Go right here, go right here.
all right, let's see if we can find the wild dogs.
That was an adventure.
Yeah, let's see what everyone has to say about it, G.
All mic'd up for the first time and now it all came unplugged there.
Oh, are you unplugged?
I think I'm back online.
Maybe Basil will tell us if he can't hear you.
Sounds right.
Classic.
Right. Not too many comments. Thank you, Mary. We did get out. It's what's really good about having these small light cars. You can actually do that.
I'm still very impressed.
Okay, so you're going to go right and then follow.
Here. Is this a track? No? Right here. Is this a road?
Go left. That, is that it? That's it.
Yeah, that's it, that's it.
It looks like a stony track.
Looks like we can at least get through there. Let's go. Still in. There you go.
I think Brent the other day was saying when you were on drive with Victoria, there were some aardvark burrows in an area. I'm not sure if this is where you were.
I think it was actually a similar area.
That's exactly what it was.
Yeah, lesson learned. Speaking of aardvarks though, apparently there's lots of aardvarks on this reserve, and that is something that I haven't seen yet, so I would love to see an aardvark. Okay, should we try? Is there a track on the right?
Yeah. Might be through.
Are you fine, Matt?
Yeah, I'm alright.
Okay, I'm not seeing much of a track.
Matt's going on an adventure with us. Okay, we're going to have to go down here and just see if those wild dogs have come through the block here. Being our first drive out without the knowledge of Brent or having driven around this area for a lot of, well, many game drives, it's difficult to know exactly where they're going to go and what direction they're going and what direction and roads we need to take. We'll just see, we'll figure it out. This is part of the adventure. You learn new things, and learning a new game reserve is a bit daunting.
I mean, they're also learning a new game reserve, these wild dogs.
And that's another good point from Victoria. They're learning the lay of their land as well.
There's a lot
Their
of
movements might not be so predictable. They're been here for a little while longer than a week. Quite a challenge Victoria took on this afternoon. Going to wild dogs on their first drive.
I mean, it's my first live drive, but
So,
luckily not my first drive ever.
okay, I think just follow this around and
Do you know where it comes out?
it just goes a long way around. It's just
Okay.
a track.
I do expect this is
It's
where.
not a very big block, so they were moving quicker, and wild dogs don't generally move slowly when they're on the trot. They're going pretty quickly, especially when you're trying to get through an area like this. You can see there's lots of stones.
I am. We're putting the jackal through its paces, aren't we?
Let me check if there's any comments. I've been following the road map here. Mary, I think when we're out of this stony track and maybe on a bit of a smoother surface, we'll go through our backgrounds a little bit for those that joined a little bit late and don't know us here.
Good afternoon, station 0, getting mobile on
We haven't really done our backgrounds yet, have we? Not really. The dogs would have to be really kind to us for us to find them again.
So Matt is still with us.
Yep. Oh yeah.
And he's
No,
got
he's still
and he's
there.
got both of his kneecaps.
He's doing an amazing job at holding on and holding the camera. Because I'm joining in the front row, Matt's sitting in the middle holding the camera freehand. He's not on his sturdy tripod
Or mount.
or mounts. So I think he's doing a great job.
Right, where does our 2-track go?
It doesn't really look like this track is one that gets driven all the time.
It's probably a new one. I'm very grateful for its existence. Okay, it looks like we're on a road though. No? Not yet. Spoke too soon, watch out.
I don't know how much fun Matt was having on the back, having to hold on to some filming equipment as well as holding himself into the vehicle.
Everybody underestimates how strong your core needs to be to drive on these vehicles all the time. Especially when you're in the back, a guest in the back, because you're engaging your core. Where do we go? Let's carry on here.
Let's carry on left. See, the Ellies of us have been through here.
We haven't met the elephants over at Rietspruit yet. There's so many characters to meet. I wonder where these wild dogs have gone. Trust 3 wild dogs to give us the slip. Although that was entirely my fault. I think we might have been able to stay with them for a little bit longer if I hadn't underestimated the undulations in front of us. The lighting's so beautiful now.
South of Leopard, while it was gone directly.
We almost get into the end of this track, and maybe what we do is go on a better surface road, look for any tracks of the wild dogs. If they had just run parallel to the road and then gone onto the bigger road that we were on before we went on an adventure underground almost. Took a little detour, ended up back on the road. It's a lot easier for them to move. They'll move in this time of the day, looking to hunt. We missed it earlier. Matt was with them yesterday, and he saw them on a hill of sorts.
Got a branch. Now reverse, do you want me to pull it out?
No, reverse.
I think we lost our branch, that's good.
I can go right here. Let me just
Okay,
get
cool.
my map
Throw
out.
this down. The cover,
Get out.
any tracks there, Gareth?
Have a look at. Got some additional passengers here.
Yeah.
Just roughly over here, it's all covered
Is
in
that fun?
ferns.
There's a few branches in here just holding it together.
It's a souvenir.
Take it with us to remember our adventures this afternoon.
There you go.
I think that's alright, eh? Okay, we'll go down this road and see if there's tracks. Maybe Victoria can look in the wheel right her side.
Yeah, well. Nothing, lots of impala actually. This time of the evening is my favorite.
Hello, mobile, any updates?
I've got a couple of questions. I think this is a better road to get to some of them now that we're on a surface that is smoother. Maybe it's easier for Matt to hold the camera and for us to find the wild dogs again. We'll just see if there's some tracks here. But I think so a couple of ones, maybe to go back to before we found the wild dogs, when Victoria interrupted me when she saw the male notch come onto the road. My animals, as I was talking about, have changed a little bit. My favourite animal, and recently with rhinos and horn trimming being a new conservation practice, and then notching the ears, I work quite closely with them on Mala Mala in my previous position, and I got to know a few of the individual rhinos on the property, and it was something new to me and us, knowing some individuals and being able to track them, and I think they also.
It's Impala.
No, I didn't really. It's an Impala, so Matt's going to swing that camera away from me and focus on them. What are they looking like?
It's just good to know in an area where there could be wild dogs. But good to know they're here because if we found wild dogs again.
And if you did see one Impala standing on its own now, with the wild dogs having been so close, there'd be a good chance that they had run through this area and maybe scattered the herd a bit.
But that is not. What were you saying, Gareth? Sorry for interrupting you again.
I was just saying, so got a new appreciation for rhinos, working so closely with them, horn trimming. I know on Painted Dog TV, not too long ago, there was a mass horn trimming, and you know all about it in that process. So I did a bit of that, and notching them, getting to know individuals, their movements, seeing how they change seasonally was quite exciting. And I don't know if they're my favourite animal. I enjoy a lot of them. I think, as you've gathered in this conversation so far this afternoon, I don't know if one animal really stands out. It's kind of got new appreciation for species that I've worked with and seen a lot of so far in my career, and that was likely going to change again.
Back when Gareth likes to tease me because I'm so obsessed with leopards. He says that whichever leopard I'm with is my favorite leopard. And I take great offense because I actually do have favorite leopards. But it's just quite funny because I've just realized that whatever mammal you're with is your favorite mammal.
Got some more impalas here that don't look too concerned.
Where are we going, Navigator?
I'm switching between apps on my phone to figure out where we are.
We'll get good at that.
Let's go left. So earlier when we lost the wild dogs that were on that road coming in this direction, we've seen a couple of herds of impala here that are looking relaxed. Shows another group of looks like only 3 females.
Oh, look at them there, right? Is that okay?
Yeah.
Yeah, so
I was going to get out to have a look at the tracks on the road, forgetting momentarily that there's a small herd of impala right next to us, and I don't want to be the base.
hinder them. Okay. Who asked about our backgrounds?
So, yeah, I
Was
think
it?
maybe go back and see if I can find that. Mary was asking to go through our backgrounds a little bit for those that joined a little bit later on this stream. I wonder if we should go back to the fence in case they just went north
We can.
from where we got ourselves stuck in a hole. There's some vervet monkey tracks. There aren't any wild dog tracks on the road that I can see.
This doesn't go and connect somewhere where they might have come up.
Keeps going.
Okay, then I think you're right. While we're chatting, let's just head back in that direction. Of course, it's great to chat, but I know you'd rather see the wild dogs than chat. We're not as fun.
So a bit of a background for those latecomers, sorry, while we try and figure out how to navigate a new reserve, talk to a camera, which is different. Not something that I necessarily thought I would be doing a few years ago. But I grew up in Botswana, in Gaborone. I went to boarding studied at Rhodes University in the Eastern Cape. I did a majored in zoology and botany, and I ended up doing a master's in zoology. I did research on the reintroduced elephant populations of the Eastern Cape private game reserves. And then I was very fortunate to move up to Mala Mala and work in that environment and open system adjoining the Kruger National Park. I was there for 6 years. I started as a guide. I kind of got tired of sitting behind my computer and writing my thesis. I kind of got into the stage where I thought, studying wildlife, I need to be in wild places and I should go and guide for a little bit. So through a friend, I got fortunate enough to get into Mala Mala. And now 6 years later, I find myself on Rietspruit, the painted dog pack. Looking forward to what the next adventure chapter in my career, as well as Victoria and my private lives. As we settle into a different type of environment and living.
Yeah.
Based in a lodge environment, quite remote and removed. Now I moved close to Rietspruit, so it's going to be a bit of a change, a bit of adjustment. New surroundings.
Yeah.
So we're not only getting to know a new reserve, we're getting to know a new town as well. Fortunately, we have a couple of good friends that live here and they've shown us around a little bit. And I'm sure the pack will take care of their newest members as well.
Please. My background. My background is a little different to yours. I always loved wildlife, so it's not really a surprise that I'm doing this. However, when I was about 10, I had a guest recently visit me at Mala Mala, and I didn't know her, but she knew me, and she said that she was in school with me, and I was very excited about that, but she was a couple of years behind me in school, and then when we got on well, having some common ground, and when she left after her stay, she sent me a picture of the yearbook what I had written when I was 10 years old, what I want to be when I grow up. And I said, when I grow up, I will be happy if I live in a game reserve, drive an old Land Rover, have my family with me, fly a helicopter, and I'm surrounded by wildlife. And the only thing I haven't done yet is fly a helicopter. So the 10-year-old me would be thrilled to know that we're living our dream, but we didn't get here immediately. I did a few curves and twists in the journey that included studying a degree in maths and science education at Stellenbosch University, which was a lot of fun, but almost from day one I knew I would get the degree and probably not ever formally teach. I've used the teaching skills a lot more than I realized in guiding, but I did. Oh, are you struggling to hear me?
Comment here from Mary.
Oh, is that a bit better?
Yeah.
Okay, good. Yeah, so I twist and turns along the way to get me into guiding, but when I started my eco training course a couple of years ago, 5 years ago, I thought I was just going as a gap filler between doing an education degree and then I had been accepted to study my postgraduate law degree. I thought this was going to be a fun time. Let me check these tracks. They are wild dog tracks. They're called Gareth. I thought that, going and doing a bush course would just be a nice little, elaborate holiday, and instead after a couple of days I phoned my family and I told them I was never going to go to law school. I was going to do this, and the rest is literally history. I started at Mala Mala early 2021 and really enjoyed my time there, and now it's on to this adventure. But actually 2020 I wrote a couple of the Painted Dog newsletters, so for about a year, I think it was, we had newsletters. Do we still run newsletters? Not really, no. Not in the way you did. That's okay, things morph and change. But without that relationship with the painted dog team, I never would have. I don't know. I can't never say never, but probably we wouldn't be here today. So that's amazing how things all link up. Okay? We should be on the lookout for these wild dogs. There are nice tracks here.
We haven't been down this road yet this afternoon. We lost the wild dogs. We came back onto the fence just now, a couple of hundred meters away from it, so there's a good chance that they've come back. As they're exploring the reserve, they're pushing up against the fence line quite a bit, just putting out their boundaries. Chance, although it doesn't look like there's any fresh tracks, vehicle tracks down here, but there's only 3 of them. They're running next to the road. It's going to be tough to see their tracks. But nothing fresh on the vehicle tracks. We'll go up here for a little bit and see if we get the next road and go in that direction.
Road here, the track.
But Di, you were asking if we've always worked together. So no, we haven't. Victoria started at Malamala in May
3 years
2021. I started there in October 2018. So we've known each other since then and worked with each other as colleagues, I guess, since then. And we got married in November last year. So a lot of people still say we're newlyweds, which we probably are in the context of
Which we definitely are.
Together. But we've known each other for 3 years and been colleagues.
Better. So I guess in our relationship we have always worked together. But in life we've had different jobs before that.
Because you're asking if I can speak Setswana, and that's a big no as well. I wish I could. I wish I could speak Setswana. Never really been too good at languages, studying French for 8 years, and I wouldn't last a day in France at this stage. Maybe with a bit of time it would come back, but I don't think I ever had it for it to come back. And then growing up in Botswana, you would think that maybe Setswana would be something I know, but I left at 13 to go to boarding school, and I never really was exposed too much to it. Did a little bit of it at school. But I do look back at that and kind of wish I had learned Setswana at a younger age. My dad, on the other hand, is pretty good at these things. At one stage forgot how to speak English, and he was fluent in. Okay, I've been told by Basil back at camp to adjust my mic. Is that better?
No, it's on this side that I'm struggling with. Keep going.
Okay, so Matt's trying to work on it. There's another vehicle up ahead of us. He was fluent in Afrikaans, and then he's also pretty good at Setswana.
The dogs are
So they found the dogs again. The vehicle up ahead has got them. So as we expected, they came back around onto the fence, continuing north. Those impalas were far too calm to have had wild dogs run near them. How you doing there, Matt? Maybe we'll stop here on this soft section.
Oh, we can keep going. Let's go to the dogs and figure it out.
No wonder they were great wild dog tracks heading this road.
Simon coming to Glen. Very good. Simon, are they on the roof or are they static? They're on the roof up and down the fence line here. We're going north and now they're turned around, but they're going back south. Okay, Tommy, I didn't quite catch how many vehicles were responding there. Did you? I'm here by myself, and there's one vehicle just arriving now. That's the only vehicle that's responding. Okay,
like to get in the lineup. I'm on my way for 10, 15 minutes out. Copy. Started station 1, we've got there. We've got the 3 dogs. Confirm wire box. The western fence line, yeah, and your skirt track.
Is this good, Matt?
Yeah.
Okay, copy.
Swing right a little bit. Right.
Right, wrong, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Betty, we haven't seen any giraffe. We've been preoccupied trying to keep up and find these wild dogs again.
I think they're on the other side of that. Oh nope, on the move again.
Thank you.
Sorry, I'll come there now. Thanks. We lost them and found them. Yeah, I stop here? Beg your pardon?
No, okay.
Okay, cool, yeah, we'll stay with it.
Okay.
Thanks. Well, we'll try.
Yeah, looks like they're heading.
He's sitting in, yeah. Thank you. So well.
Leaving the dogs with one station on following them, they're actually heading north on the fence line.
So Matt, you managed to fix the audio there, but
The thing. Pass me your mic, Gareth.
okay. We're on our own again with the wild dogs. Nice to leave the newbies following them. Guess we had the right idea coming back here.
Yeah. We were lucky that there was also another vehicle in the area. Heading east again.
And as we get to them, they're deciding to go
No, they're
back
still
into the thick stuff.
continuing. I can see them, they're just running parallel to us still north, so let's stick here and see if I can keep sight of them.
Jennifer, I think that's a great question to Victoria. I'm going to tell it to her now, but maybe while we are trying to follow the wild dogs, she can think about it. So that...
Yeah, I'd like to respond to these, I think, as
You
the
can come
dogs.
to your shot.
Okay, it was just pull in, so I was giving you some line. So Jennifer's asking if you've got a special leopard sighting or a leopard story that means something to you. But take your time. So once they're just next to us, running parallel still.
Oh, I can see them in there.
direction of
I
the
wonder what
dam.
this is like, if we can go in here.
It's going to be the same, eh?
Gonna be the same. I think I've pushed too many cars today, even though it was just once. So you can see I've got a few cuts here from the thorn tree we were in.
Can't see them moving in there. Oh,
A little bit of play, maybe.
anyway, they're about 50 meters east of us. Where are we? So I can tell people where they are.
We haven't really moved.
Yeah, good boy.
Are you driving, Kubu?
Got them there.
Copy.
Okay, Faba.
Still moving. here zebras, probably not far from where the wild dogs are. I highly doubt the wild dogs will, 3 of them at least, are not going to do too much trouble to some zebra, although the zebra don't love wild dogs, that's for sure. Can we have a look there, guys, so I can tell people where they are?
They're just here. You can still see them. So they haven't really moved from where we last were. I think it was Antioch Slut track, which we're just north of. I chose that road name because the one north of it I don't think I'm going to do too well. But we're right in the middle, so I'm safe for now, using that as a point of direction for the rest of the game drives out.
Further forward, no?
Put them too high, yeah, and now it's going north as well.
Another one closer to us? But maybe.
I can't see from up here.
Okay, they're not making it that easy, but luckily we've had some good quality time with them.
It looked like on the map on my phone that it may open up a little bit when we get to the top of the crest here. So Liz, you mentioned that the male's got a name as Notch, a little notch in his right ear. Have the 2 females in this pack been given any kind of names? I think we just refer to them as the pack.
The girls and the boy. Who was asking about my favourite leopard story while we wait for the wild dogs?
Jennifer.
Jennifer.
It does get open a little bit at the front here.
I'll move up and I'll tell Jennifer. Jennifer, I have lots, so we could actually do one a game drive. But the one I'm going to tell you today is equal parts incredible and embarrassing. I had never, in fact, this is the only time I've ever seen a female leopard carrying her cub. And I had my camera in the bar with me at the camp, and I went to get my rifle to go on game drive.
Number 5, station with the dog.
And we went out not thinking anything was going to happen. What's going on?
Somebody's just asking for you on the radio.
Oh, me? Oh. Last station, go ahead.
Station with the wild dogs, coming for Glen.
Glenn, go for Victoria.
Victoria, are the dogs still on the western fence line?
Affirmative, they're just east of the western fence line, south of Rietspruit West. They're slowly mobile north, visuals intermittent. Yeah.
Copy that, I'm approaching Rietspruit now.
So Victoria does it a lot better than I would.
Oh, here they are. They're coming to us. That's nice. There's Mr. Notch.
Look how beautiful the mountains are behind them. Got a little frightened, the zebra snorted at them. Got some interesting colours on their tails there. It looks like the male's got a bit of a stripe and one of the females has a black tip to her tail. Usually we'd see, oh, they've seen a sable on the other side.
fence is between them, so the reality is they're not going to give this sable a hard time.
You could see they had noticed something with the way the male was jumping up onto his back legs. A little bit of excitement as it had seen the sable. It's quite a big sable bull as well.
It's not so easy to see, but it's behind the fence. There you go. Matt's going to show you where it is. Context.
Sergio off coyote, crossing onto Lowveld, number 6.
Bit confusing.
I wonder if the sable's seen them before. Might be a little bit curious itself as to what 3 wild dogs are doing here.
Beautiful sable bull. Nope. It's definitely curious. It's a sable, I think it's a sable breeding farm.
Sable antelope on the other side of the fence that's picked up.
Yeah, Cubby, I've got visual. See what they do now. Oh. Wild dogs are showing a little bit too much interest and the sable's out. His curiosity did not last long enough for them to get much closer. Quite entertaining.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Yeah, great afternoon.
Now they're going back in. At least it looks like it's a little bit more open on top of the crest.
We'll see. It does actually look more open. I was thinking, not risking it now, but it looks a little bit better. We don't have that much longer. The sun is setting, so we'll just stay with them a little bit longer, see what they get up to, and then start our search for, do you need more of an angle?
Yeah, that's good.
Start our search for the night critters soon.
And see what I was talking about just now with the tails. All 3 of them are quite different.
This female's got a black tip, which is a little bit unusual.
Most of the wild dog packs that we used to seeing at Mala Mala, they had a full white tail. Can't recall seeing many that had a different tail, so it's
But the very tip of her tail is still white.
nice seeing a bit of variance. Mary's got a good point there. Maybe we can't call this female wild dog cheeky because we do have an elephant on the reserve that I think Brent refers to as cheeky.
Cheeky chops. Right?
I think it's cheeky chops. Matt, maybe you can correct me if I'm wrong, but that is the high-res picture of the week called Connection. I'm sure you'll get a chance to see that a little bit later on for the pack members.
What Gareth's referring to is that if you want to stand a chance to win Matt's high-res pick of cheeky chops and his or her, I'm not sure.
Mother. Yeah.
His or her mother, well, the mother is a her. I'm not sure what cheeky chops is. Then you need to email info@paintedog.tv to stand a chance. Go ahead. Can you give the others a little bit of a turn and then we'll carry on?
Maybe let them try and beat a path through here for us to follow so we don't end up in a precarious situation again like earlier this afternoon.
What precarious situation? I know not what you refer to.
Betty, the word of the week is connection. I'm sure later on in the episode, we will put a picture up on the screen
Do we do that?
and you can follow that link. It was just a nice talking point there, talking about cheeky. It was a cheeky chop. What?
chops.
Cheeky chops, okay.
And mama.
If you want a chance to get in on those high-res images, you're going to join the pack membership. So those of you that are viewing that aren't already subscribed to our pack can look to do so.
Where are they? Oh, there they are.
They've been kind to us now. They're just walking down the road here.
Oh, there's one more.
They've kind of split a little bit. There's a bit of a junction with two roads going in opposite directions, and one's gone off to the left and one's gone off to the right.
Follow the one on the right because the ones on the left look like they're angling in that direction. So let's just see if this one on the right, if we can find it again.
A few more clearings here, which is nice to be able to follow them. I mentioned earlier how having worked with rhinos recently has been quite interesting getting to know individuals. There's quite a lot of rhino dung on the road here, so it's going to be exciting to get to know the individuals and the population dynamics on this reserve, on Rietspruit. And what's also exciting,
Did you see her take off?
oh, they're chasing impalas.
Impala in front of us. Go, 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 go.
There she goes. Or maybe it's notch. No, it looks like the female, that black tip to the tail.
Oh, can we go in?
They're coming back across the road.
Sorry, I don't know which number I am.
Coming back.
Yep.
Oh, go. You gotta give it horns. Nope, she's coming back this way. Okay. And she's off.
So the male and the other female were on the road the other side, so there's a good possibility that she might have flushed the herd in that direction. Looks like she's running again parallel to the road here. Maybe there's some more impala. Well, other members of the pack have caught on to what's going on here and are trying to catch up. There is a road that goes left.
That was amazing. It's so cool to see that, especially when you can see the impala and the wild dog and how the impalas are responding. Those high jumps, prongs. Oh, so thrilling on our first drive. Where is she? Glenn, go ahead.
You still got a dog that side.
Affirmative. One of the females ran in on a herd of impala and missed just north of Rietspruit on Poole Pad. There are still impala in the area.
Okay, copy. Now I've got one dog in between me and the vehicle behind you.
I did just see impala in here. Sure, she's gonna try. I'm not even sure if this wild dog has seen them, but they're actually not very far from her.
It's very exciting on a first afternoon out to see wild dogs chasing impala.
Okay, here's the impala.
The impala's still next to us. Apparently there is a wild dog coming up behind us in front of a vehicle that is behind us on the road, so maybe we'll get some action here again.
Yeah. I can't see her, but there's impala right here. Everybody's excited. Wild dogs on the hunt. Just have a look in here. That's thick stuff.
It's very thick. I don't think we're going to be going in there. I don't even know if the camera does it any justice how thick it really is. If they were to the right of us, it would have been a lot better.
I can't see the wild dog now, but she was heading in this direction.
Okay.
Hello, everybody.
It would be amazing to witness a hunt.
Yeah,
Would be.
fantastic.
Okay. Shall I go ahead? Do we have an
Go
idea
ahead.
of where the other two are?
We lost them between this road and the road to our west.
Right. Okay. I'll go ahead, keep an eye on that side.
Perfect.
Enjoy. Can't hear any excitement. If wild dogs do catch something, they're generally pretty excited after that and feeding.
I want to make sure she doesn't pop out on the road behind us.
Again, we end up trying to find them. That's kind of been the theme of this afternoon. You've also heard a lot of my voice
Yeah.
and not a lot of Victoria's voice. She's been focusing on trying to drive and find the wild dogs. But in the weeks and months to come, you're going to hear a lot more from Victoria rather than myself. I've joined Painted Dog to be more involved in the conservation side of the pack, and Victoria on the presenting side of things. But I will from time to time be here in front of the camera.
I'm actually going to turn around and just see, because we've lost her now. I'm going to turn around and see if there's a vehicle heading on this road. They'll let us know if they find her, but let's... Yeah. They've got quite haphazard movements, especially when they're
With the wild dogs, can I please approach?
mind control.
How many people are here?
There are still 3 stations in this sighting.
Can I please take a standby?
Affirmative. I think some are 2 wheels. Just check. I think there's someone else that's in the one.
Let's go around the road to where the other 2 were. Those impalas were relaxed.
Let's give it maybe 3 more minutes, see if we can find them, and then we'll make space. We've had an amazing afternoon. That image of her running out onto the road and the impala panicking. Ah, we live for that.
Mary, I wouldn't know. I wouldn't know if we're the first guides to have wild dogs on our first live drive. But it is pretty exciting.
The first hunt. But we didn't. Not yet.
Also, I don't know if some of the other guides have had wild dogs on their first drive. I don't know, were there any wild dogs on Rietspruit when Gareth and Andrew took their first drives?
No, but Crichton's, there were dogs.
Oh, yeah.
I can't think of anyone that dogs in their very first drive.
Okay. So there, Matt's got the answers. When we're in doubt, we're just going to refer to Matt for the next little while as we get to know these finer details. But it is a pretty nice way to start a live drive presenting career with wild dogs. I don't know if that's what you say. Figuring these things out. But it's always exciting having wild dogs, and to have them on a first drive I think eases us in a little bit, which is quite nice.
But I think we are going to leave them. There's people who'd love to see them before dark, and we've had the lion's share of the wild dogs this afternoon. If we don't find them on this road where we were hoping to find them again, then we'll make space.
There's a lot of dust, so I think somebody's driven down there.
Okay, let's go this way. Is this a little road? Let's try this little path. Don't want to drive the fence again.
Is it a road?
Is it one?
It looks like one.
Okay.
Yeah.
Stations, I'm going to be leaving the wild dog sighting. 2 other stations, and then 1 station making their way, and 1 that's number 1.
Oh, we can ease the pace a little bit now.
We can get to know you better. We I was halfway through a story. I don't know why we try and tell stories or even talk when they're wild dogs, because they're just manic, and that's why we love them. We love wild dogs for that. But my leopard story ends in that
Maybe you should start it again.
I had everybody's holy grail of a leopard sighting would. If you ask most guides, 9 times out of 10 it will be a leopard carrying her cub. It's very rare, it's so sweet, it's this precious moment. And often when you, in fact, almost always, if you see a leopard with something in its mouth, it's the juxtaposition of life and death. So when she's carrying new life in her mouth, it's very tender and a special moment. And I had this happen to me that I was on game drive, I had forgotten my camera. And you always know if you forget your camera, you're going to see incredible things. It's just how Murphy's Law works. And I went on game drive, not thinking much was going to happen. And the next thing I know, I'm in the sighting, and the female leopard is carrying this tiny little 3-week towards me. She walked so close. I was parked far, and she came out of the bushes up on. There was a little bit of a rise next to the road, up onto a rise on the road, and then walked towards me. I was pulled over, past the car to within maybe 6 feet of my vehicle, trusting us with her brand new baby. My guests were crying. I almost cried out of both frustration and just, tender emotion. It was an incredible sighting. It was also golden light, so everything was perfect for the perfect picture. Sometimes those moments are, you're not supposed to take pictures, you're just supposed to lap them up. And that's what we had to do. It was incredible. That's one of my millions of amazing leopard sightings that I can tell you about over time.
Millions is quite a lot.
Okay, maybe not millions. Maybe thousands.
That is something that I never had the privilege of seeing. I never watched a leopard or a lion carry her cubs in 6 years, and Victoria got to see both of those cats do it. So hopefully one day the Rietspruit will deliver that kind of experience for me. I have, however, watched hyena carry cubs on 2 occasions, which is pretty special, and not something I ever expected to actually see until it was happening in front of me, and I had no idea why they were doing it with guests, and I've got to try and explain this now. But those kind of sightings often just speak for themselves. Victoria's sort of, I don't know, how did you forget your camera behind?
So since I'm leaving the area of these wild dogs, I think the sort of station is trying to follow up.
I was
Dam.
in a slightly different camp. Where we worked before, there were 3 camps that we worked between, and I was just out of my usual routine because I was based in one camp and used to working from that camp. So I would put my camera in a specific place, get my rifle, fetch my camera, and go on game drive. And I had just messed up my routine by being in a slightly different camp, and so I had brought my camera to the camp, but I hadn't remembered to take it on game drive. So I could have kicked myself, but I don't think that your picture actually doesn't do the moment justice unless you are a fantastic photographer, which I'm not, or what I certainly wasn't at the time. I'm not now either, but I'm better now than I was then, so I wouldn't have done it justice, and I would have panicked myself. So it was probably a grace that I didn't have my camera with me that day, although I felt guilty about it.
Betty's asking, did you get any pictures from your guests?
Betty, I got a great video, and my guests also got great videos, but none of them were photographers. Are we going that way or this way?
Straight.
So I do have a nice memory of it. Thankfully, cell phones do the job.
I generally have one rule to never forget my camera. It didn't matter what I was doing while out in the field.
Oh, tell them about yesterday.
Whether I was with guests or doing burning of fires or doing any road maintenance or dehorning, I always had my camera with me so that I never missed a moment. And I'm sure in days to come and, well, drives to come, we can maybe get into some of those crazy stories. But yesterday Brent took us out to do a couple of the arterial roads on the property, so we weren't completely in the dark. We don't know which way to go. I think let's go right.
It looks beautiful here.
It's a nice drainage line here. This is exciting.
There's leopard tracks that go the other way though.
Some leopard tracks. Victoria's turning around. She wants to see a leopard on Rietspruit. She's been warned that the leopard viewing is probably going to dry up somewhat from what we and Victoria is used to, because she just wants to see leopards, being her favorite animal. But yesterday we went out and I thought it's pretty hot, it's the middle of the day, all we're doing are a couple of arterial roads and we'll be back. The odds of seeing something probably won't be that high. Well, I was mistaken and I broke my one rule. The lions of Rietspruit had a giraffe killed. Don't ask me where, I have no idea.
Matt, is it too dark?
I'm not going to see them on camera. Yeah.
Okay. What if I put a light on them?
Yeah.
This is crazy. So have a look here. Can you get these leopard tracks over here?
Yeah.
So it's dark, but there's tracks here. You can see there's 3 lobes on the back pad heading in this direction. I just want to check. I think this is leopard scat. It's actually not as fresh as I thought it would be. It's still pretty good tracks. Let's just drive the road anyway. Let's just see what we can find.
Victoria's pretty excited.
If you don't put yourself in the right position, you'll never see them.
That is true. Maybe we'll do a double up.
Quite nice.
First live drive, see wild dogs and leopard. I don't know what the odds are against there. Maybe I'm being very optimistic here. But yesterday, to go back to what I was saying, while Victoria focuses on trying to drive the right road with these leopard tracks, we went out and we were driving past one of the dams and we saw a male lion coming to drink, and it wasn't too far from where the giraffe carcass was and where the pride had been in the morning. And he drank up quite a bit of water in maybe 5 to 10 minutes we spent with him before he went to the shade, and we decided to go around to where the carcass was.
We're still on a main route. We were just doing main routes.
We were just doing main routes, yeah. But we took a bit of a detour, I think, to go to where the giraffe was. And there were lots of vultures. There were Cape vultures, whiteback vultures. It was quite nice to actually see some Cape vultures. There's a colony not too far from here, apparently, which is really exciting. It wasn't something we saw too much at Mala Mala. But there were a lot of vultures and they were on the ground feeding. Clearly the pride had left. This is a really good spot for this leopard drainage lines like this. And all of a sudden the vultures scurried and scampered away from the carcass. We thought maybe initially frightened away by us, but then we saw one, I don't know if it was the male that we saw drinking or his brother, running into the carcass, and he actually ended up catching one of the whiteback vultures, unfortunately, which isn't nice to see. Vultures are not one of the animals you want to see getting killed out here, and especially from a male lion. It wasn't something that I thought I'd see or expected to see, but he did. He caught one, and unfortunately in the process he broke its neck. But didn't have my camera out to capture such a moment. I think we were all caught a little bit off guard when this took place. Victoria was kind of on her camera, but he ran quite quickly and we didn't get anything of it. But it's an interesting sighting to watch.
And the moral of the story is?
The moral of the story after these 2 stories, I think it's pretty evident: don't ever leave your camera behind. And having said that, neither of us brought our cameras out today.
Oh, I didn't.
Hey, Victoria did, I didn't. I think you try and focus on the roads and learning the process of presenting live and talking to a camera, and then trying to follow wild dogs, which was kind of our plan. Been an exciting afternoon. Also today, unlike yesterday, we have Matt behind the camera, so if anything amazing did happen, at least we'd have footage of it. Let me go back onto the YouTube and see if there's any more questions for us. Looks like everybody's just soaking up the last of the evening light. Look at this. Beautiful little drainage here.
Which way do we want to go, Matt?
I think you want to go to your left.
Okay. Good thing we have Matt here, because I was going to say we go right, and that doesn't look like something to do on our first drive. Look how beautiful this is. What a time to be driving in riverbeds. Looking for Victoria's favourite animal.
You never know. You never know what you might. Is this?
What drainage line is this, Matt?
Diepsloot.
Diepsloot. I think I saw a comment earlier that I kind of missed in the excitement of the wild dogs about maybe I should try and find out. Maybe it was Betty, if I recall. Maybe it was Betty. I'm just going to quickly check so I don't get this wrong. But I remember reading it and thinking, I hope you never do that to me, and please don't try do that to me. But to spell out the road names in Afrikaans, I don't think I can say them, so I don't think I'm going to be spelling them out. like Gareth Poole could do.
Oh, could he?
Yeah, so
We can do this one.
I don't know.
D-I-E-P-S-L-O-O-T. Diepsloot.
Yeah, I can't find that comment now.
You're on top, chat, not all.
Yeah, I was going through them.
Okay.
It's somewhere there.
You'll have a map, you'll know how to spell them out.
That's true, I can use technology to my advantage. This is really pretty in here. Just soak it up for a little bit while we drive in it. It looks like it's a couple 100 meters, so maybe less. Get the torch.
Quite a difficult time of the day where the spotlight's not too helpful, but it's also getting a little bit more challenging to actually see, so...
Yeah. Just see, looking for some eye shots. Brent was telling us yesterday that he tends to be one, or the painted dog crew tend to be the ones to see leopards quite a bit, because we drive a petrol vehicle, so they're a little bit quieter, with the leopards here being a little bit shy.
Matt, are you following the light?
No.
Okay, I was just checking.
Do you try and follow the light?
No.
That would be quite a task.
Yeah.
Bouncy, bouncy.
Okay, it looks like we should get out of here. Maybe go right. Yeah.
This is a nice little incline. I am in four-wheel drive. Okay. I like this car a lot. That was cool. Good job,
Little chimneys.
little jackal.
Rhino Blue, 1 session lock.
Betty says she couldn't understand Gareth's accent when it came to the road names. Well, I'm sure you're going to struggle even more with me.
Yeah, Gareth the first
Last station, can you just repeat that location?
could actually say them. Gareth the second is going to have to practice.
Practice a lot.
This is beautiful.
1 Rhino Blue at Utopia.
Copy, thank you.
Hippo Dam's quite far, right, Matt?
Hippo Dam's on Kaya.
Hippo Dam is on Kaya, which we do not go to, so Hippo Dam is
Very far.
very far. Things are starting to look familiar to me, which is very encouraging. Do you think I've been here before?
I think I remember. Yeah, I remember being here on the first time Brent ever took us around Rietspruit. Victoria and I were looking for a place to get married, and Brent said he would show us around. And I remember him driving here and saying that his dad had seen a leopard in this area in the morning. There's a little trough of water coming up, if I remember. There's a hide there, so maybe we'll get something coming for an evening drink. Oh, there's some people parked here. Evening.
Good evening. Should we go this way?
Just, yeah.
Those mountains are so magical.
Being so close to the mountains is a change of scenery. Although, whilst at Malo Malo we would always look west to the setting sun and you would see the mountains, but you get a fuller picture than we're getting here. Here they're right up close and personal. At Malo Malo we're quite a way away and you could see the whole escarpment and have the sun setting behind them. It was often a popular view of the mountains to have an evening drink with guests.
This is magnificent. You are
This is a very different perspective.
at the. I'm going to park for them. Is that fine, Matt?
Yep.
I'm sure you have all marveled at these mountains far more than we have. Where do you want to be?
Yeah,
A bit further forward?
yeah, you can go a bit to your right.
Like good.
Yeah.
Just look at that. If you listen, you can hear the fiery neck nightjars. They're actually quite far, you might not pick that up. Can you hear it? A little bit too far. I'm sure that we will hear more of them. One of my favorite night sounds. But yeah, that mountain is special. It's incredible to live here. From when we knew we were moving to Paint a Dog, we could look at it and enjoy it. So it's very special to now live beneath it. Barbara, you have to leave so early, but so good to have you with us. You can also hear some other people on Game Drive. The colour of that sky. Looks like the back of a rhino if you don't know what we're looking at. Listen. I can hear a lion. It's far away. Ooh. Ooh. Sounds like it's coming from the east. luck with the wild dogs?
No, I was about to ask you the same.
No, unfortunately not. It was so promising, and then they just gave us the slip. So often they do that. Yeah, they do.
Alright.
Maybe another time.
Yep, we'll try again.
Enjoy your evening.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Hey, cool.
We're going to carry on. Right, G, are you on spotlighting duty or am I?
I can do it.
On here.
Something's disconnected from channel. Okay. We got to learn all of these little comments that come into our ear. Oh, there's a little mouse of sorts.
Oh no, sorry Matt, that's not very fair of us.
Not.
A little rodent scampered across the road, but with a little bit more patience than you normally see. If you normally it's like a quick flash.
I think I will spotlight while Victoria
Gets us home, not home.
gets
but
us
find somewhere
back to camp.
We have so many new species, not new species, but so many species on Rietspruit that are just novelties for us still. So we're going to have to get to know all of them. Things like those little rodents and even some of the
Is your
mesocarnivores.
mic turned away from you? There's just a comment that we can't hear you.
Oh, yeah. Let me try and fix it.
Betty, can you just tell us if you can hear Victoria well again?
Betty, I'm reconfiguring.
Thank you for letting us know.
Is that better? Can you hear me now?
I can hear my headphones.
Okay, cool. Good to know. I'm just These are the tricks we have to learn, is where the best place on our collar to put it on. Sounds like such a rookie error. We've made a lot of rookie errors in the last 2 hours, but it's been a lot of fun. And it's not over yet. We've got another, what, 15, 20 minutes to look for something exciting.
Hello, Leopard.
You could find when night has fallen. Brent was chatting to us about servals and caracals and aardvark. Really tantalizing. Yesterday we had a meeting with one of our other colleagues on Leopard. We were driving back in the dark and it was very exciting to hear what we could see. I wonder how many of those things have been seen on live drive. Maybe you should all give us your bucket lists, so over time we can be checking more and more bucket list sightings. I'm making myself excited.
Betty's saying we should find an aardvark. That would be a first.
That would be a first in my whole life, Betty. I would be ecstatic. It would really make up for that awkward fall moment that we had earlier on in the game drive.
I think I'll pass this one on to Victoria because she's had the joy of driving. Di's asking, it's the longest 2 hours of your life so far.
No, not at all. I've definitely had longer 2 hours, Di. In fact, this has just been fun, which means that it's not even been, time has flown. Oh, what's that, an owl? Oh, sorry, so quick. So quick. He didn't didn't give us much of a chance to see him. Now we've got to be looking out for all the owls. No, they say time flies when you're having fun, and this has been a very quick 2 hours. I can think of other times when 2 hours took a long time to go by. Like when I knew Gareth was going to propose, but he didn't know I was going to propose, so I couldn't talk to him about it. That was a long 2 hours.
What?
What?
You confused me there. I don't know if the viewers would understand. You were going to propose.
No, when you were going to propose and you didn't know that I had suspicions. That was a long couple of hours. Because I was used to talking to my mum, and I was used to talking to Gareth about things, and I couldn't speak to either of them because I knew they were scheming. But this has not been a long 2 hours. This has been an exciting 2 hours.
It was a daunting couple of days.
Where did that owl land? It would be so nice to see an owl.
See, now the truth comes out. We're on live television and Victoria's owning up to having had, well, we're on YouTube, she's corrected me, maybe not TV. TV of sorts. Everybody watches these shows in their living room now, so it is on the TV. Anyway, she's always said, no, I didn't know you were going to propose.
You knew I had suspicions. There's a scrub here on the road in front of us. Running away. I don't know if Matt's going to bother. Don't bother. There's lots of scrubbies.
Yeah, it felt a lot longer than 2 hours, Mary. That's for sure. I think most people that are building up to a proposal.
I don't want to give him a hard time. He might
Just
give
a
a
little
hard time.
scrub here. It's a very daunting couple of hours.
The scrubby will have just woken up from a day's worth of napping. They are nocturnal, so they can handle the light, but we don't want to shine on them for too long because we don't want them to get startled, and then they have this habit, once you put a bit of light on them, of becoming road runners, and they run on the road in front of you.
There it goes off into the grass. Another one is we don't really want to point it out to any owls that are around.
Yes, of course, we know there's an owl in the area, so we don't want to
Not that
enable the owl.
Not that the owl needs our spotlight to see that little scrub here.
Out where we are, then we're going to come up to Mamba Waterhole in a little while, right?
Mamba Dam, is
Mamba
it?
Dam. Eventually, maybe if we have a bit of time, we can swing by there and see if any of the nocturnals are coming for a drink before they start their evening's activities. Left or right now? Left to Mamba Dam.
Yeah.
Okay. There's a great rhino middens everywhere.
Lots.
That's another thing I'm so excited about, is the black rhinos. I can't wait to spend some time with black rhinos.
That was a good first drive for Victoria. She was sitting behind Brent the other night, and they got a black rhino and calf. Victoria was pretty excited about that when she got back to camp. She couldn't wait to tell me, even though I'd seen it on YouTube. It's going to be exciting to see where those wild dogs end up tomorrow morning. They have been spending quite a bit of time near our camp. It seems like this afternoon they've decided to go a little bit more into the central parts of the reserve, and they're going to continue moving tonight. Interesting to know if they caught anything. It doesn't look like or sound like anybody managed to find them again, so we won't know. Looks like there's some nyala here. We won't shine the light on them. So maybe now that they've figured out where the western fence is, they're going to go and explore elsewhere. What are you giggling about?
I'm giggling at how we hit the wall earlier. It's still ridiculous that that's how you start your debut.
You're lucky if you get stuck.
I'm lucky I didn't kill you, Matt. that was the most terrifying part, is that Matt is a good 2 feet behind me, and then he was breathing next to my ear. Very quickly becomes a good story, doesn't it?
We had teamwork, so we managed to get out.
I'm still impressed by you.
Guess now you don't have those, and you've done your first embarrassing moment.
No more embarrassing moments, please.
Next time you're driving off-road, you might be a little bit more cautious.
Oh, I'll have a booster seat next time. Any other questions or comments, G?
No, there haven't been many questions coming through in the last little while. I'm sure in all the drives to come by Victoria and myself, there'll be more of a stage of getting to know, or for you getting to know us and us getting to know our viewers. There's a giraffe. We had a question earlier about have we seen any giraffe. Maybe you can get the silhouette there, Matt.
The only thing is maybe the silhouette.
That's beautiful.
Oh, that's beautiful. With is it Venus above the giraffe? Look at that. Isn't that amazing? What a tranquil way to end such a busy drive. It's like he's posing. Definitely watching us, but not worried about us. Watching, but not worried.
It is stunning, isn't it, Di?
This is what you think of when you think of an African safari. Beautiful red sunset, a majestic mountain, and a giraffe silhouetted with Venus behind it. Just like that. being coy now. Shall we leave him carry on for a little bit? Oh, that's amazing.
Betty, I agree with you. Matt has been fantastic, keeping a steady shot this afternoon, holding the camera in both his hands, trying to get us both into frame, keeping the camera safe in our little expedition into an aardvark burrow this afternoon.
Matt is always amazing.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks. Alrighty, everybody. It's already that time of the evening. Our first 2 hours of live drive are behind us. We've got to know you a little bit. Hopefully you've got to know us. We've seen wild dogs. We've made a fool of ourselves. And we've ended with an amazing giraffe sighting. So from here on Rietspruit, it's time for dinner. Good night, everybody.
Goodbye, everybody.
Code red. Now repeat, code red. And the breach on the fence line.